Well, welcome back for the third time today. After our successful proof of concept flight to San Diego with the modified scenery, we are now looking good for our return flight back to Orange County. So 2 landings today at John Wayne. Well, 1 so far, but hopefully 2. In any event, you notice right after we started the video, we just got our PFD lockup, which has become a regrettable theme. I am noticing that it only appears to happen with ILS approaches. Did not have an issue with the RNAV approach into runway 27 in San Diego. So, interesting.
Whiskey Bravo, please expedite your descent to 3,400 feet.
We still have information regarding our altitude and so forth here, and these inputs still work. I just don't know what will happen. I have to extrapolate what will happen. Like when this froze, I was at minus 500. I just did 1 notch on the VS to decrease it. That is to increase our rate of descent. So I know I'm now at 600 feet, descending 600 feet. We're at 4,300 feet. This should clear up when we get to Snake right here. Frustrating, just because this has been happening to me anyway, only since the 1.9.5 patch. But I've at least learned enough
Whiskey Bravo, please expedite your descent to 3,400 feet.
It's so funny, she's rushing me down to 3,400 feet. I don't need to be at 3,400 feet until I get to Snake, all the way over here. In any event, we're good. Will slow us down a little bit. We're going 165 knots. That's a reasonable approach speed at the distance we are from the airport, but we'll slow it down to about 150. Descending into the clouds now, that's always fun. Just northwest of Disneyland, which is over here. Got to skirt the TFR. They call it a temporary flight restriction. It's really a permanent flight restriction over Disneyland. In any case, we know our altitude. Airspeed right now 143. Let's not let it slip too much. There we go. We're at 3,400 feet now, as they wanted us to be. We know 3,400 is the approach altitude for Snake. We've still got about 64 seconds until we get there. Hopefully, when we get to Snake, and this will clear up. We are still getting ILS information. It's just not displaying on the PFD for this freeze, showing 15.6 nautical miles from the airport. Irritating, to put it mildly, but work with it. Hopefully, I've posted the issue. I know that it's a known issue just because other people have dealt with it as well. So hopefully they'll patch it soon. If not, at the very least, it's manageable. There's that right turn now, starting our turn to Snake. Keeping on that airspeed. In the clouds now, but still getting some sunlight shining through them. Beautiful how the sunlight plays across the instrument panel. I just love that. Definitely do need the PFD freeze to clear up though, because landing without information from the PFD and only relying on the standby instruments would be a challenge, to say the least. So far though, in every instance where it's occurred, it freezes for a time, but clears up when you get to the final approach, or the initial approach fix, actually, in our case today. We'll see if that's what happens. Continue our right turn in clouds. Very accurate weather today here in Southern California. Beautiful day out. Cool. For us, cool. Passing over the 57 freeway right here. I wish there was some easy fix to this. I've read a few workarounds, but they seem like a pain in the ass. Not practical at all. The only thing that is established is that it seems to go away when you get to your initial approach fix. We'll see here momentarily. Airspeed's good though. This is wrong. We're not at 187 knots and we're not at 5,230 feet. We're at 147 knots and level at 3,400 feet. As we make that final right turn, I'll activate the approach and switch over to the ILS. And it should grab it. We'll see if this comes back to life when that occurs. I hope it does. Weird to do 3 flights in a day. I am truly obsessed. Right over Chino Hills State Park. Here, Diamond Bar, Yorba Linda. Turning south now. I did decide to do a different approach today. My first flight into John Wayne, I was a little uncomfortable with the mountains. So we took a slightly different approach today over the ocean. Past John Wayne, up to Seal Beach, then turned inland. No issues with mountains on this one, so I'll be doing that one from now on. Whenever I fly into John Wayne from the south. Let's see if this unfreezes here as we close in on Snake. Boom! No. Interesting, I thought I saw something, but come on, come back to life. Pain in the butt. We're still fine. I mean, our altitude's 3,400, airspeed's perfect, 148 knots.
Dollar Tree Whiskey Bravo descend and maintain 2,800 feet.
This is a little trickier. We know that we're set at 3,400, so we'll just go notch by notch. 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. Initiate a descent. Don't know what rate I'm descending at because this is not giving me any data. I'm guessing, which you don't like to have to do. We're at about 500 feet per minute right now. Go ahead and switch over to nav 1 and click approach. Still waiting on this to come back to life, but we have not crossed Snake yet. Gotta watch our airspeed. This is a lot trickier when you don't have any PFD information. Come on, baby, come back to life. We do have active CDI. We are intercepting the localizer as we speak for the second time today. There it is, just as I suspected. It comes back to life when you intercept your initial approach fix. So we're in good shape now. Go ahead and slow us down a little bit more. It's just crazy to be doing the same flight, same approach that I did just 2 hours ago. It's funny. Looking good, airspeed's good. Slowing down, 139. Actually, you know what? Somehow our APR got disengaged. Whew, glad I noticed that. I think when this popped back to life, even though I had activated the approach phase, and it started to intercept, when the act of the PFD re-engaging somehow disengaged the APR. Come on. Gosh, this throttle on my
Landing gear.
This throttle on my flight stick is too sensitive. I have to do it by hand all the time now. God damn it.
John Wayne Tower, Docker, November, Tree 4, Trey, Whiskey, Bravo, 10 miles northeast
Okay.
inbound ILS runway 20
Looking good.
right
Waiting to intercept the
approach.
glide slope here. No longer descending, so we're going to send it to our minimums.
Whiskey Bravo, John Wayne Tower. Cleared ILS runway 20 right approach. Altimeter 29.
Still waiting for glide slope information over here. Not seeing any yet. We'll do Gifley now.
Cleared ILS runway 20
Gear.
right approach, Docker, Trey, Whiskey, Bravo.
There's our airport. Initial separator. Flaps. 1 notch. Fuel's fine. Lights activated. And yaw damper disengaged. Not clear to me why we're not getting any glide slope information. We did get glide slope information on our last approach in today. Wait a minute, what is this? Hold on. Just hold the phone here. Somehow we lost our... Ah! I see what happened. Transfer. Now we got glide slope information. That was weird. That was a little technical there what just happened, but basically I noticed that the identifier here on the bearing 1 on the PFD was showing a radio frequency that was not the ILS radio frequency for this airport. So I don't know what the heck was going on there, but I knew something was goofy because we didn't have any glide slope information.
Dollar Tree Whiskey Bravo cleared to land runway 20 right.
We still have not intercepted the glide slope, however.
Cleared to land runway
Strange.
20 right, Docker, Tree, Whiskey, Bravo.
But we do have glide slope information. Gears down. It's acting a little bit squirrely here. I don't know, for some reason APR keeps going off. I'll have to watch this again and see what in the heck is happening with this approach. Our airspeed's fine, altitude's fine. Have our flaps fully deployed. Gears down. That PFD lockup, though, has been making it kind of buggy. We should grab the glide slope. This should turn green. Airspeed's perfect anyway, 83. This is where making the videos can be very useful. There it goes, grabbed it just now. Because you can watch it again later and see what happened at certain places that you might not have spotted when it was actually happening. Because you were, whatever, distracted or whatever. Looking good. Okay, there's our blimp hangars again. Second time today. Speed looks good. 3 mile final. All lined up. At our minimum's almost here, and we've got the airport fully in sight. All configured beautifully. Go ahead and deactivate the autopilot. I have the airplane. Got red and white on the Vossies, I can see. Second time today. It is really strange to be landing at the same airport for the second time in one day. With real-time weather, yay! Oh, what a relief not to have all that goddamn traffic. Constant, annoying ATC chatter. I wouldn't mind it so much if it was accurate, but when it's just bedlam, it's not. It actually ruins the immersion experience, even though it's supposed to enhance it. 500 EGL. Speed looks good, 83 knots. Winds are 2 knots, dead ahead, coming right at us. There's MacArthur Boulevard there off to the left, if you see. A little bit high. Speed looks good. 85 knots. Still a little high. There we go. Back on the glide slope. middle marker indicator once again. Gonna trim this down a little bit, fighting the stick a little more than I should be. Still at 3 degrees. Lined up beautifully. Kept that 3 degrees right down to the markers. And idle. Nice. That was a sweet landing. See if we can make that first turn off this time. Nope. All right. This runway is just a little... I mean, if I planted the airplane on the ground right at the numbers, you know, right over the piano keys, I could make that first turn, but I'd rather not. There's really no need to try to stick it. You know, if you've landed at this airport in real life, sometimes the landings are a little bit rough, just because those big boys have to get down on the ground. There's no room for, not a lot of room for a long rollout. So this plane doesn't have that problem. Flaps. Taxis. Those lights off. This should all feel very familiar since we did it an hour and a half ago.
Taxiing to General Aviation parking using taxiway Alpha Dr. Tree Whiskey Bravo.
Nice short taxi to parking here. Same exact one we just did. It looks like they're giving us the same parking space. I'll do what I did last time, and that is not quite go the long way that they want us to. Zoom in on the airport there. That's a very handy feature here. Able to have an airport map on the MFD. Let's get parked, and now I am simmed out. It's Friday evening, and I got a pizza coming. So I'm gonna get this baby on the ground, or rather parked, hop in my car and drive home. I live just a short drive from this airport. And then tomorrow we'll head probably to Santa Barbara. Turn here. There's Gary. Follow those instructions he's given us. Sorry, Gary. Came in a little hot there. Apologies. Taxi lights off. Parking brakes on. Come down to our seat a little bit. Turn off the inertial separator. And the engine deactivate, or shut down rather. Engine cut off. Fuel cut off. Turn off our aux PP. Fuel selector. Boom! Getting faster at this. And depressurize. Okay, that's it. Another short video. I know it's a little crazy to do 2 flights. There it is. Beautiful. What a pretty afternoon. Pretty evening, I should say. I should say formally welcome back to Orange County. John Wayne, KSNA. It is local time of 5:48 p.m. That was very nice. All right. Weird stuff going on with the PFD lockup. Definitely threw me a couple of curveballs there. I'll have to rewatch to see why the APR kept disengaging, how and why it was that the ILS frequency, you see here now, COM, I had already pre-programmed that to 1.75, and it was active, and then I'll have to find out when it switched to the standby frequency, because that could have been a problem. Anyway, we made it. Nice, safe landing on the ground. Things are good. Good day of flying this afternoon, and see what tomorrow brings. That's it.